like what I was going through, what I've been through. You know, one of the songs that I love is called Soul to Keep, and it's like true story. You know what I'm saying? While people, you know, when people put a perspective on you, they assume a whole different image of you, and it's like they don't have any idea.
Down up on my knees and I'm crying out to God, and I'm begging for him, please. Oh yeah. Cause I'm trying to keep my soul intact. And the devil, he can't hold me back. Tell me how to keep going when you facing an eviction. How to be a good man when you making bad decisions. How you supposed to stay strong when your family saying come home, and you trying not to do wrong, but your blessing taking too long. I got people hitting my line, but they ain't even asking if I ate. I got too much on my mind, so I ain't got time to conversate. If you broke, then stay from around me, I ain't got time to be in your place. And if you ain't talking about money, I ain't got time to be in your face.
Parallax. You are now tuned into the Parallax Effect. It's not the message, it's the messenger. What up, Ryan? It's time. Parallax. Oatmeal's better than no meal. Guess who's back to make mountains out of molehills? If this don't move you, I bet my folks will. This beat's smooth, but trust me, there ain't no chill. Ask Ryan, if I'm lying, I'm flying. It's the sculpture of all aspects of the culture. Parallax. The People's Podcast is back, laying it down flat for you wherever you at. Your job, or your car, or your jog, or your flight. Loads of archives with no ending in sight. Hitting on any topic, long as it ain't no nonsense. You can see the others for the drama and the gossip. Word to Brett, best there ever was, recognize it. Never secondary, my eyes stay on the pocket. Parallax. And if you feeling the vibes, give us 5 stars. Oh, and follow and subscribe. Parallax. Sit back and recline, relax and enjoy the ride. Cause it's that Parallax. And you just passed the test. This is the Parallax Effect. Come on, Parallax. Sit back and recline, relax and enjoy the ride. Cause it's that Parallax. And you're here, that's mad respect. Welcome to the Parallax Effect. Yeah.
Parallax Effect Podcast, where we continue to navigate through the shifting tides of perspectives. We are going to wrap up season 1 here with yet another superb episode for each and every one of you. I am your host, Ryan Lavelle, and as always, let me remind you that you can follow us on Instagram at Parallax Effect Media, on Facebook at the Parallax Effect Podcast, on Twitter at Parallax Effects. That's Parallax Effects with an S, and also on TikTok, search RiloKen27. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel. The link is always in the show description as well as on the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. Okay, let us keep moving forward here as we always do. As I introduce today's guest, I'm very excited. He is a hip-hop and R&B artist that resides from Brooklyn, New York, came to LA 3 years ago, and has been flourishing ever since with 2 EPs. Much more to come. We are going to get into that. He graduated from high school in Japan. We are also going to get into that. He is a fashion designer, a visionary, a creative director who always puts God first, as he has been a weekly churchgoer since his youth. I would like to take the time to welcome R.Kim to the Parallax Effect. Welcome, sir. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me for sure.
How we doing today, man?
Hey, I'm blessed. Another opportunity with a great person, you know what I'm saying?
Another opportunity for sure. Great people link us up with great people. We'll definitely get into that for sure. I want to start just getting to know you a little bit better. We talked about coming here to LA from Brooklyn, right? How was your upbringing in Brooklyn? What are some memorable moments for you out there in the great city of New York?
You know, New York is New York. When I was out there, I was real young, so my childhood was really just being around family. You know what I mean? I was around my family. My mother was my best friend, still is to this day, so that's pretty much what it was.
Yeah.
It wasn't really too much running the streets. Like I said, I was still young. So I wasn't being outside too much. It was really just going to church, going to school, being a good boy, you know what I'm saying? So. Well,
I tell everybody always that New York, to me, is the center of the world, and that you should at least visit. At the very least.
100%.
I have special ties there because my mom's side is all from New York, from Queens. I have a sister that lives in Brooklyn, New York currently. So we all almost all of us made the great migration, right. As did you. So what kind of prompted that transition?
Well, living up there, you hear about LA. You know, you see LA on TV, you see Beverly Hills, Rodeo Drive, all the, you know, the facades. You know what I'm saying? But it was just the experience that. So being from New York is like, you see that side. That's either people want to go to New York or they want to go to LA. So for me living there and, you know, experiencing that, it was like, I want to see what LA is about. So that's really what it was. It wasn't to come out here with fake dreams and fake hopes, you know what I'm saying? But it was really just to experience what it was.
And when you arrived here, and we can jump back to stories in Brooklyn, stories in New York, obviously, stories in LA as well too. Was it as you expected? Was it different? What are your takeaways so far?
So my first year here was crazy because I moved right at the beginning of COVID.
Oh, wow.
So when I moved, it was like January. You know what I'm saying? The beginning of the year. And I came out here and I was like, oh, you know, COVID. Everybody was saying COVID's not real. It ain't going to be no big thing. And then they shut everything down. So my first year in LA was like, I didn't get to experience nothing. I didn't even experience the traffic. There was no traffic.
Was that so? Was that? You talk to anybody here that's you know, been in LA for a while or raised in LA, that is probably one of the number one. That and gas prices now, I guess they coincide. Yeah. What was that first traffic experience like?
Yeah, I was ready to go home. You know, back it was, but you know, it's traffic there too. So I can't really. But I don't like traffic anywhere. I don't care if I'm in. You know, it don't matter. It don't matter. So
traffic is traffic.
Traffic is traffic.
Yeah. Yeah. My sister, I was mentioning, shout out to Gwen, who still lives in Brooklyn. When I go out there, she will not drive into Manhattan. Yeah. So I'll drop you off right at whatever bridge you want to be dropped off, and you're on your own for there. I'm not dealing with that traffic.
Once you're in the city, it's over.
Yeah. It's a completely different story as well. 100%. So you came here during COVID. How was that like, kind of making the transition? Obviously, the whole, you know, world is pretty much shut down. You're here pursuing a dream, pursuing your career.
Right.
What was that situation like?
It was tough because all the expectations that I had of doing within my first year here, I couldn't achieve. I couldn't go to events and network. I couldn't meet people. I couldn't build relationships. So it was like relying on social media. And, you know, at some point you have to have a personal relationship. It was just different. And it just taught me other ways to deal with the circumstances. That's when I built a bigger online presence. That's when I started focusing on the business side of things versus just, you know, the numbers. You know, like we get so focused on money that you're missing a lot of business steps. You know what I'm saying? So it was really just learning a lot of things behind the scenes and just taking time to focus and level up in different ways.
So taking advantage of the situation, was it a silver lining for you in a way to develop those relationships and get into that business side? Or was it just, you know, a little bit more of a struggle to find your way through such a pandemic?
Nah, I'm one of those people that's going to adapt to any situation because you have to in life. You know what I'm saying? And especially as a man, you can't really sit there and complain like, oh, man, I had this all figured out. Like, nah, you got to roll with the punches. So it wasn't really, you know what I'm saying? It just forced me to. Mm-hmm. You know, if I would have did it at some point, but it forced a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, into situations, starting businesses, getting into this, getting into that. So I feel like COVID helped me for your, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
And mentally.
And when you came out, did you move by yourself? Did you move with family, with friends?
No, I moved with one of my friends, and that was like us both trying to follow our dreams and make everything happen. And, you know, you find out the real people when you really going through struggles.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So.
Right. And I kind of want to give the audience an idea of like, it's a big deal to just pick up your life and go. Had you been to LA before?
I had been a couple times, maybe like 2 times. And every time I came, I said, yo, I'm going to live there. So,
right. So you had it all in your mind.
Yeah.
Of how much of a big deal it is to grab all your belongings and your whole life and just head somewhere else. Was there trepidation even though you already knew this is where you're going to end up, or were you just like, no, this is about to happen and we're going to go for it?
It was definitely like hesitation at first because like the plan that I had when I move out here was with different people, different situations. And when it came time to put the plan into motion, it didn't go that way. So I had to still consider, oh, well, man, financially, am I going to be able to do it? You know, am I going to be able to be out there, you know what I'm saying? Like, and having to fight for yourself, for real, in a city where you don't know anybody, honestly, like to people that you know back home. But it is what it is. Like I said, you you got to make it happen.
You got to step out there, man. And speaking of stepping out there, we mentioned also in the intro, high school in Japan.
Right.
What part?
It was Okinawa.
Okinawa?
Yeah.
And how was that experience?
It was different. You know, like when I first got there, when I first got to the airport, I went to the bathroom and I stepped in the toilet because, you know, in Japan, they got the toilets on the floor. So I walked in looking for the stool and it was over. I stepped in and I said, oh, no, I'm not using this. So I just, you know, walked out, went to the urinal, you know. And then after I get out the airport, I see vending machines with cigarette packs, you know, all like, then you see the cars, people driving on the other side. It was all like a culture shock. But it was like, it's dope, you know what I mean? Because it's like, wow, this is how people feel when they come to America.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm getting to experience how it is from the other side. So, and my father was in the military, so that's how I ended up in Japan with the opportunity. So
So thank your father for his service. That's for sure.
appreciate that.
Yeah, definitely. So I've never been to Japan and obviously never been to Okinawa, but we just got done watching a Netflix documentary on blue zones and these areas of the world where they experience the most people that live to like 100 per capita,
right.
and Okinawa is one of them. Did you pick up on any different life customs or things
chill. They're chill. They really, it's like, so Okinawa, I'm not to be disrespectful, but it's like the hood of Japan. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how every city state has their hood area. Like, that's what they consider Okinawa. It's like, it's the suburb kind of hood type. But yeah, it's just different things. Like, for instance, when I was at a restaurant, it's like, it's impolite if you don't make noise when you eat. Because they think that you're being, you know, quiet because you don't like it. But they prefer you to make noise. But you know, like over here, it's the opposite. If you're making a lot of noise, it's ghetto, or like, we know it's good.
So you're supposed to like smack your lips when you're chewing your food, or are you supposed to?
They want to hear the plates and everything. They want to hear like, they want to hear the clink clanks.
So some of the things they consider to be rude over here is actually the opposite. Yeah, that's inside information. Yeah. So go to Okinawa, be as loud as you want when you're eating your dinner or lunch and whatnot. That sounds like my type of setting for 100%. Sure. And so, how long did you spend out there?
I was only out there for a year. It was my last year of high school. So I actually graduated out there, got my diploma, and then I had to come back for college. So that was it. I just spent 1 year out there.
And so coming back, were you out there long enough to experience maybe not a culture shock when you got back, but a difference when you got back, or was it just business as normal when you got back?
Nah, it was definitely like, it was the time difference. You know what I'm saying? Now I had to get readjusted to what day it was. And then driving too, you know, driving on the opposite side of the car. Like, it's not as easy as people think it might be, especially when you make left or right turns and you have to go to the other side.
Right.
Yeah, you might end up going into the head on.
Right.
Because, so.
I can see why that could be a complete situation as well. And did you get to go to like Tokyo or any other?
I'm still on my to-do list.
Yeah, you stay on the pathway. See, I'm just like a squirrel. Like, I'm like, oh, what's over there? All right, what's over there? Oh, I was supposed to be going over there. Man, all right, I got to get back to it. So I applaud you for being able to stick to the pathway, man.
For sure.
And speaking of the pathway, obviously your life calling led you to music, right? When did you find that out?
When I was having jam sessions with my mother to Mary J. Blige and Avant and who else? Monica and Whitney Houston. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
She always used to bump that in the car, and I would just sing along. So my mom was vocal. She could sing in the choir, church choir. So I think that's where I got a lot of my inspiration from. So.
That's awesome to hear, man. That's awesome to hear. Picked it up from your mom. Shout out to your mom as well, too, for blazing the path for young R.Kim here at the Parallax Effect Podcast, representing, raised in the church as well, too. So taught yourself, you know, obviously spiritual values, family values. How does that influence your career today?
It keeps you focused, keeps you disciplined. You know what I mean? It's what you're willing to accept and what you won't accept, according to your own morals and beliefs, you know. So I feel like that keeps me in line because I know right from wrong, you know, in my own eyes, you know. So it just helps me and it protects me, to be honest.
Yeah.
You know, it's that security, that safety.
That guiding light, that's for sure.
Walking by faith.
Yes.
You know.
Yes, sir. 100% respect for you and your faith walk and your journey in faith as well too. And how did you pursue to get your music career started? What was kind of the litmus, or what was the threshold that you reached to kind of, all right, I'm going for this?
Sitting on so much music. I was just making songs. It was like my personal journal, you know, because my first EP was called Hidden Journal. So it was like just my ideas and my thoughts. And I was going through heartbreak, you know what I mean? So I had a lot to talk about.
What was going on there? What was the situation, if you don't mind?
Yeah, we just broke up, you know what I'm saying? You try to fix things, you try to get back together, and it just doesn't go that way. You know what I'm saying? Toxic situations that you don't realize are toxic because you have, you know, that much love for the person. So that was pretty much it.
Do those situations where adversity, I guess, let me say, does that make for the best creative musical content?
I think so. And when you're speaking true in reality, you know, it's easy to talk about. It's hard to lie. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's easy to tell the truth.
Right.
So, yeah, I think it helped.
Yeah.
It helps to this day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, you know, again, another silver lining for you. Sounds like you're taking advantage of these situations in your life that should be, you know, adversarial, that should be hard to overcome, but you're turning them into success.
Yeah.
So, yeah, much respect for that.
I appreciate it.
Was the Hidden Journal, that was your first album?
Hidden Journal, yeah.
When was that released?
It was like 2018.
2018. And how many tracks were on there? What were some of your, you know, more notable tracks? I mean, I know obviously as a musician, you got to love all your songs, right? Yeah. But what was like some of the feature tracks on there that vibe with the audience?
Man, honestly, it's all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't even want to single anything out.
Right.
I want people to check out the whole, you know, body of work.
And where could they find it? iTunes?
Yeah, iTunes, Spotify. It's on all the platforms.
Hidden Journal. Make sure we're going to get into the second EP in just a second, but we'll promote the first one first. Hidden Journal, iTunes, Spotify, wherever you find your music, look it up. We have R.Kim came to studio. This is what I call this, Studio 7, right? It's obviously a dining room, but Studio 7. He came in. We are doing our thing here on the Parallax Effect Podcast. Fashion designer as well.
Yeah.
How did that get started? And is this
yeah, this is one of
this is your creation right here?
Yeah. It was inspired, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Something cool, something dope.
Yeah.
So shout out to them, you know? So, yeah, I just wanted to make my own clothes and just be the person that could say, yo, I'm the only one in the world with this.
Right. So one of one.
Right.
Do you sell this? Can anybody else buy it and become one of one?
Nah, not at the moment.
Not at the moment. Okay. All right. I was going to plug it. I was just making sure. But yeah, definitely first design it for yourself. Take care of yourself first. What does a creative space look like for you, whether that's fashion or whether that's music? What do you do to put yourself in that zone?
I think I'm just already in that zone. So like I could wake up, make a song and make a shirt to the song and do a video all in the same day.
Wow.
So it's like edit it and then drop it tomorrow morning, you know?
Yeah.
So it's just me.
So you operate in a space of creativity. Yeah. Well, not many people can elevate their mind to, including myself, to be on that wavelength to where the creative inspirations just continue to flow out like that. Do you have maybe some testimonials or some memorable kind of, like, I know your fans kind of keep you going, right? So 100%. Do you have some memorable kind of inspiration or something that you get back from your fans?
Just listening to my music, you know, even a simple like on Instagram, watching my story, all of that is support in itself. People can say what they want. If somebody's watching you, they're supporting you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I want to make sure, because at the end of the episode, we'll definitely plug the socials, but we might as well go ahead and plug them now, just for the people to, you know, get in touch with you, listen to your music, sample everything. Sure. So you want to share that with everyone? Yeah.
All of my socials are at Very R.Kim. That's Very and then RKIM. So everything is Very R.Kim. You could YouTube that. You could TikTok that, Instagram, Facebook.
Very R.Kim. We're talking Instagram. We said TikTok. We said Facebook. We said YouTube, Twitter, X, whatever we're calling it now, as well too. Very R.Kim. Definitely, please look him up. Leave him a message. Leave him a like, because that bodes well for our, just we want to know how we're doing. We want to pick up inspiration. So go ahead and communicate on that for sure. We talked about Hidden Journal as the first album. We talked about 2 albums that you have. The second one is
Walk by Faith.
Walk by Faith. Yes, indeed. And when did that album come out?
That just came out, like 2 months ago? September.
Brand new release. Brand new. Breaking news here on, well, it's not breaking news for you, but I'm gonna break it for us.
Nah, it's breaking news.
Breaking news. Walk by Faith just released in September. Same platforms that you can access Hidden Journal on. That would be obviously Apple, Spotify, wherever you find your music. Please look it up. And obviously Walk by Faith. We talked about your faith journey. Mm-hmm. What inspired this album?
All my testimonies, like what I was going through, what I've been through. One of the songs that I love is called Soul to Keep, and it's like a true story. You know what I'm saying? While people, when people put a perspective on you, they assume a whole different image of you, and it's like they don't have any idea. But Walk by Faith kind of gives people an idea,
Have you been misunderstood during your during your journey or just in your life, period? Mm-hmm. Have you experienced, having to kind of enlighten folks a little bit?
Yeah, because I was doing fashion before I started releasing music. So people had just images of me, you know, for fashion. And, people would be like, yo, I feel like he cocky or he this, and this. And they don't ever really see my real personality. Only the people truly around me get to see that. So it's I feel like people put a perspective on me, but this music is a different side, because you wouldn't even think it was me.
Right.
Based on my voice, based on everything, I could do, music is crazy.
Right.
So they'll get to know the real.
They'll get to know the real. I got to know the real when I also sampled your music as well. And that kind of made me buy in, oh yeah, I really want to, have a conversation. Because we're basically, we live maybe 20, 25 minutes away, traffic considered. Right. So we're pretty much neighbors and never have really interacted before. So I got introduced by you by, rest in peace to, my best friend growing up, Lowell Grissom. Everybody knows Lo. Yeah, rest in peace. But his mom, Alexandria, very, very lovely lady. Has been like a second mom to me. Yeah. You were the first name that came up when, I asked her, if she could reach out to something, because I know she's very well connected. Yeah. So it wasn't like a Rolodex, oh, let's try this person. No, the very first person that came up was you.
That's a blessing.
Yeah. So I just wanted to let you know that you're doing something well, and people think very highly of you. Yeah. Yeah. So
that's walking by faith.
Definitely.
Walking by faith.
Definitely, for sure. And are you familiar with Everybody Knows Lo's music? Him as an artist?
Not too much. Mm-hmm. Not too much. I did a song for him 2 weeks ago though.
Everybody knows Lo. Mama, are you listening? Yeah. Just know that I'm so proud. And I may not be here now, but we gon' meet again somehow. Mama, you my bestie. I'm that guy, you never left me.
And just based off what I heard about him and how he was as a person, as a father. And, it's kind of one of those things where it's mentally, if you're not in the headspace for that, it could really it could bother you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And it's tragic and it's devastating. And it's I be in different headspaces, Yeah. But I'm gonna take time to, study him for real.
And kind of the connection I make about going towards and accepting your passion and really going for it is obviously, yourself with the creative genius that you have, is that he was someone of the same ilk, right? I think we all have these talents, right? But do we all tap into them? I don't know. A lot of us, sometimes it can be, you don't have the resources. Sometimes you can be a little, like I mentioned earlier, maybe some trepidation or something like that. Right. Lowell was obviously a talented musician at a very, very, very young age, and he realized that, tapped into it. He was also a good basketball player. He could have went that route too. Yeah. But he recognized his multiple talents as you did early on. So some parallels there for you both as well,
Right.
You ever get to go back home to visit? You still have family in New York? You ever get to go back home and visit them?
I haven't been, man. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
Like, once you leave, it's kind of like you just keep. I don't think I ever want to experience the same thing twice.
Right.
Just like California, if I leave LA, I probably won't come back to LA.
Right.
Just gotta, But yeah, I'm not going back to New York.
You're not
I'll
going
go back to visit for sure. But just living, I can't live back there no more.
Yeah. Well, never forget where you came from.
100%.
That is for sure.
100%.
We are here in Studio 7. R.Kim is here, came through, saw the light, and just rolled right on through. Fashion designer, creative director, musician, R&B and hip hop, multifaceted, very talented, making it happen here. Who are some artists that influence your music? You mentioned several of the artists you listened to younger with your mom. Were there additional ones, or are those the main artists that influenced you?
Today it's like I like Bryson Tiller. His sound is crazy. Tory Lanez. I still listen to old school artists too. Avant, Joe. Yeah. So my inspiration is just based on like a lot of different things, man. My mood changes to like when it comes to music. Like I literally could listen to an R&B song and listen to a trap song, then listen to a gospel song, and then make a hip hop song. It's just I don't know. It's just
and those actually those type of inspirations lead to the best sounds, right? Because you kind of take elements from each genre and you put them all together, and you come up with something super special. Who would be your dream collaboration?
Honestly, it had to be Bryson Tiller.
Yeah,
because I know like we could create something crazy. You know what I'm saying? Either him or like Travis Scott.
Right. Well, let me. I mean, not to get into a who's better, who's this, but this is a recent debate actually that I think has been coming to prominence a little bit more amongst conversations that I have. Drake or Jay-Z?
That's two different.
You can't pick one over the other?
They're not the same.
Not the same?
No, not even
From a
the
body
same.
of work standpoint.
It's still two different eras.
Two different eras? Yeah. So kind of like the LeBron MJ comparison.
Yeah, it's like, come on, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just like you can't do that.
I made I asked you because I made an argument that Drake basically, at least from a production standpoint, from a body of work standpoint, had either reached or eclipsed Jay, and I caught a lot of heat for it.
It's a touchy.
Yeah, it's a very, very touchy subject indeed. But one that we're not afraid to get into here on the Parallax Effect Podcast, here with R.Kim. Definitely check out both albums, right? Hidden Journal, Walk by Faith, as well. Definitely. So, getting into like, do you ever picture yourself, or what would be like the ideal venue for you to perform at?
Man, it don't matter to me. I just wanted to be able to continue to grow.
Right.
Now, I don't really say like, oh man, the Barclays Center or like Madison Square Garden. Like I don't really just performing in front of people is cool to
Just
me,
get out there, get in front of people.
Perform at different things like the Eiffel Tower, like you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like I want to do stuff like that. Like,
Right.
All the landmarks in different countries.
Right.
So I feel like that'll be dope.
That would be. So that's creative thinking outside the box.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I definitely appreciate that. What's coming down the pipeline for you? What projects are you working on now?
A lot. I'm probably sitting on like 300, 400 songs right now. So I got a lot of body. Like I got a body of work, that could last for months, years. Just more videos, a lot of visuals coming soon to songs, a lot more collaborations, merch line coming soon, a big event for EverybodyKnowsLo coming up soon.
November 7th.
Yeah, so I think I might perform there or do something.
Yeah.
Something special, people got to stay tuned to see. But yeah, that's pretty much it, man. Just continue to grow, and I'm just walking by faith, man. I don't want to block any blessings. Whatever comes, I know it's genuine. You know what I'm saying? Because it came in due time.
Yeah.
Versus forcing the situation. So it's like this opportunity.
Yeah.
You know?
Keep yourself open and the blessings will come. Yes, indeed. Family-wise, brothers, sisters, kids?
No, I got 2 sisters, 2 younger sisters. You know, shout out to them. No kids for me. No kids.
Is that somewhere in your, not to put the pressure on you, but is that in your future?
Definitely got to have something, you know. But I don't know. We living in crazy times too, so I don't know if you want your kid to really be raised, and it's a lot going on.
It's definitely a different environment. You really got to be, you know,
it's tough.
Super. It wasn't, you know, when we were younger, it was like, don't come home till the street lights go off. It. Now it's like,
right.
You know, you got to keep an eye on them right when they step outside. So definitely a situation to be very, very mindful of. That that is for sure. Do you do like Instagram lives? Do you do YouTube lives? Like, what kind of social presence like? How does that interaction work?
Man, I'm working on that. I'm working on the whole live thing. Like I said, I low key. So I really don't be putting myself out there too much as far as like my personal life, but I know I gotta open up more. So I'll probably be using TikTok Live more. TikTok, it's just a faster growing platform right now. Yeah, and YouTube, you know. So yeah, I'll probably utilize those. Well, I'm definitely gonna utilize.
Coming soon to a TikTok Live, Instagram Live, YouTube Live, whatever. R.Kim is coming at you. Be definitely looking out for him. On a platform near you, that is for sure. What do you do when you're not working? What do you do on your free time, man? What are your hobbies?
There's no free time.
If you had free time, what would it be like?
Making music.
Making music so working on the free time, working on the on time, no downtime,
and driving Lamborghinis. But see, I don't see what I'm doing as work. So that's literally free time for me.
Right.
So that's what I'm doing in my free time.
So that's what you are doing in your free time. Would you travel for work? Would you relocate for work? Where could work take you?
You could travel for sure. Relocate? I'm not sure about that one.
So LA is home.
I feel like it's a good opportunity.
Yeah.
But it's not my last stop, especially if it comes to kids and family.
Yeah. So there's something else out there on the horizon for R.Kim as well too. Do you play any sports? Are you a gamer? Anything like that?
Nah. I used to play ball, basketball. I don't really play too many games. So
no time for that?
There's time for that. I just rather put that time to something else.
Yep.
You know, I like driving fast cars. So, like, I like exotic cars. Lamborghinis to be specific. So, hey, you catch me doing that in my free time.
Move at a fast pace. That is for sure. Definitely not hating on that at all. Speaking of fast pace, we do a little thing here called light speed. It's just like a rapid fire. It actually doesn't end up being that rapid. And I keep talking down my own segment. But would you like to participate?
What is it, a freestyle session?
No, it's just I throw a couple random whatever terms, phrases at you, and you just tell me quick questions, and you just give me, off the cuff answers.
All right, let's do it.
But we can have a freestyle session if you want. I don't have any great beats on me though, but we can always knock on the table like we did when we was.
We could do it later.
We'll
get them another time.
We'll get them another time. That's for sure. R.Kim and the Parallax Effect has entered light speed, and as we get ready to take off here, I want to first ask you best pizza in New York.
That's a hard question. I don't know. I like the dollar slices.
The dollar slices.
Yeah, they probably up now, with inflation and everything.
Yeah, they probably definitely went up.
But dollar slices is fire.
Yeah. But is pizza better in New York or better in LA?
LA has pizza.
Exactly.
Oh,
yeah.
right.
I just wanted your opinion, just so everybody out there. Another reason to go visit New York.
Yeah, they usually compare New York and Chicago.
Yeah.
I never heard New York and LA.
But have you had Chicago deep dish pizza?
Yeah.
Is it better than New York pizza?
Nah, I'm from New York. So,
yeah. New York has got it.
To me.
Yeah.
It's like grandmas. Your grandma cooked different than my grandma.
Yeah.
They both fired.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like
but that home meal is puts it over the top.
Yeah.
I actually have had both too. I'm gonna err on the side of deep dish, Chicago deep dish, just because it's like a pie. It's not even like a pizza.
Yeah.
So it was just a completely different experience. But I have seen the rats carrying the big dollar slices up and down the subway.
Whoa.
Yeah, I've seen that in New York, man. I have seen that once or twice.
Everybody want to talk about the rats.
Yeah, I mean,
you want to go to New York though?
I love going. I love being there. Yeah, I love being there.
Thank you for being honest.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like I said, center of the world, man. Everybody's got rats, but their rats just are able to carry pizzas. So that
But you probably thought it was cool.
I look.
on.
Yeah, I did, man. I didn't run from it. Yeah, I actually gathered a crowd. Like, look what's going on here, man. I can't be the only one seeing
I'm
this.
telling you, that's how it be.
Amazing stuff, definitely.
Did you ride the train?
Yes, I did. So,
how many times you get lost?
you know what? I didn't really get lost, but I definitely missed my stop several times.
Oh, okay.
Right? And let me tell you, there was one time, it was August, right? It was middle of August. It was hot as I don't know what. I was there with one of my boys. Shout out to Mike if he listens to this episode. And because we could only get dropped off at Manhattan, right? My sister wouldn't drive us in. So we had to take the train. And I think we were going to, it might have been Webster Hall, I think. I forgot where we were going. And anyway, we had to catch a couple trains there. And the lower we went, the hotter it got, right? So we sit next to each other on the train. By the time we switched 2 or 3 trains, we on opposite ends of the subway train. And we're ready to fight each other just because it's so hot. Like, it was just that kind of experience. Right. So I can ride the subway, and I've seen some very remarkable individuals on the subways too. It's always a great experience. But it does get hot down there. Do you agree?
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
It is. It's an experience for sure, but an experience that I recommend everybody has. Here with R.Kim on the Parallax Effect Podcast, we are in light speed. Yankees or Mets?
Yankees.
Lakers or Knicks?
Knicks.
Still sticking with the Knicks. When are they gonna, re-enter the upper echelon of the NBA?
Don't even matter.
Okay. But wherever they at,
Snakes.
you with them. Jets or New York Football Giants?
I'm gonna go with the Giants.
And being in Okinawa, do you like tofu?
No.
You don't?
No.
You haven't had the right tofu yet.
I don't know.
You don't think what is it? The substance isn't
Everything.
everything. Yeah. Are you sushi, fish? No?
I'm fish.
Yeah.
Sushi.
Not raw fish. Okay. So you're more of like red meat, poultry?
I'm more chicken, salmon.
Chicken, salmon? Okay. All right, I'll take that. We mentioned Paris, Eiffel Tower as an ideal destination to perform in different landmarks in the world. What are some of your favorite places that you like to visit or that you have visited?
Miami, Paris.
Mm-hmm.
Paris for sure. I've been to Paris twice.
Mm-hmm.
It was cool both times.
Yeah.
They just said that Paris going through something right now. I was like, wow. I was about to be, living out there for a minute.
Paris is somewhere to live, if all things considered.
I would live in. I would have lived in Paris. I don't know about right now. But
Yeah.
So, they said they got a bed bug infestation going on out there.
Oh man.
So I ain't really,
Yeah. You got to bring your own mattress, pretty much.
just don't go.
Just don't go. Wait till they get the bed bugs out of Paris. But somewhere I haven't been to Paris, so I would like to get there as well too. So hopefully eventually Paris comes calling and I will answer. That is for sure.
Definitely.
PlayStation or Xbox?
PlayStation.
You said you weren't a gamer, but I asked you anyway.
Damn, PlayStation.
PlayStation.
Yeah.
Have you been in LA, right?
Mm-hmm.
You been to SoFi Stadium?
Mm-mm.
Have you been to Staples Center?
Nope.
Man, we got to get you to some of these venues, man. Yeah. Get you in because, NBA season is coming up. Obviously, NFL season is rolling out right now.
Right.
LA's the place to be, man, when, getting out down there to LA Live and stuff like that? You know, do you bowl?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so you right there. We need to get in LA Live. Hit up the Lucky Strike.
Okay.
Yeah. We got some plans. I'm trying to make plans. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Nah, I
so
appreciate that
we can
for
get out
sure.
there and make stuff
You
happen.
know, LA, man, there's a lot going on in LA.
Yeah.
You could be doing a lot of nothing in LA.
Yeah, there's always, somebody's always got somewhere to be. I'm pretty sure, as you see. I have this thing, California drivers, and I'm one of them, you know, so I'm not singling anybody out, are very impatient and can be a little quick to switch lanes on you. You know what I'm saying? I'm being nice about it. But yeah, everybody in LA's got somewhere to be, but we've got places to be. We are here on the Parallax Effect Podcast, here with R.Kim. Any topics or anything about yourself that we didn't hit that you would like to let the people know? Because we talked about opening up, right? Talked about, you know, doing your own live broadcast and all this kind of stuff like that. What are some little known facts about R.Kim that we can share with the audience?
And I'm funny for real. Like,
So you like comedy?
yeah.
Okay.
I like watching YouTube videos, like try not to laugh challenges and stuff.
Uh-huh.
Man, people don't know that.
People don't know that.
That's
Yeah.
a fact. I love Japanese food. It's one of my favorites in Mediterranean.
Mm-hmm. The Mediterranean diet is very popular. Favorite comedic actor or favorite comedian?
And I'm a Mike Epps fan.
Mike Epps fan? Yeah. He's above everybody else for you?
Red Fox.
Mm-hmm.
Top of the line for me. That's my guy. Yeah, Red Fox, man. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace to Red Fox. Definitely paved the way for the rest.
Yeah.
Um,
And who you going with?
You know, recently, in this modern era, I'm definitely a Chappelle guy. Overall, Richard Pryor and Eddie Murphy, probably my two kings. You know, I got to share the top spot as well. But yeah, those will probably round out my top three. But it's very tough.
For sure.
Yeah, it's a very tough choice to make. Favorite movie of all time? You can only pick one.
Man, we gotta break that down into categories.
Okay, so let's start with what are we starting with? Action, drama, comedy? Where we at?
Yeah, let's go in that order.
Okay.
Action movie? Man, favorite action movie? That'd be the Fast and Furious series.
The whole series.
Yeah.
We like every one of them, or is there one of them that a couple of them they can toss out?
Yeah, all the last ones they could toss out.
Yeah. But they started off
Once
with
they started off with more action.
yeah.
So probably I'm gonna be 100. Tokyo Drift.
Tokyo Drift. Yeah, I think a lot of people sleep on Tokyo
Yeah.
Drift because it kind of
changed
ventured
that.
away from the
Yeah.
actors and stuff like that. But yeah.
Fire.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorites.
A lot of people into racing cars and racing get like Tokyo Drift. That is for
I
sure.
used to do that. I used to street race.
Really?
Yeah, around the time that movie came out, I used to drift and all that.
How long were you into that world? And what was that world like? So is it like what it is in the movie? You pull up, somebody's got a pink slip. All right, line up right here. And then somebody's waving at you. Go. How was that? How was that environment?
Nah, not in America. You know what I'm saying? So now you'll have meetups and stuff like that. You might do street racing, but you're not doing like no drifts or anything like that. And that what you're saying as far as street racing with pink slips and stuff?
I mean, yeah, like
people
I know
do
the movie dramatizes it a little bit, but like,
Yeah, people would try to.
yeah,
People would do that on the late night.
yeah.
For sure.
Did you find yourself on more of the winning end, or how? Like what?
I ain't really do too much street racing. I was more on the drifting side.
On the drifting,
My car
okay.
was set for that.
Right.
So
And what kind of car did you have back then?
I had an Accord,
You had an Accord? Yeah. So you was out there drifting it, man.
front wheel driving it.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Do you miss it?
No.
No. That time is over.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hear you on that. Man. Well, at least you got to experience it, you know, something. And is it an adrenaline rush for you?
100%.
Yeah. Yeah. Would you bungee jump?
Nah. I'll skydive.
You'll skydive? Okay.
I'd rather trust nothing than a rope, man.
I was about to say that's a little more
I'd
scary.
rather trust nothing.
Yeah, you're just gonna go for. So you are an adrenaline junkie then.
Cause all right, so if you jump off a plane, right? You know there's a chance that something can happen with the parachute. When you bungee jump, you're expecting that rope to hold you. So all your fear is pretty much, you're afraid of the height, but you have faith in the rope.
Right.
It's just like,
Just toss me out the plane, let me fly. Yeah.
Hopefully I die before I hit the ground.
Well, I mean, hopefully the parachute comes out. That's what we hope for.
Sure.
Getting back on it, what did we say? Action movie, then we said what? Comedy?
Yeah.
Where we at there?
Major Pain.
Major Pain, yeah, definitely underrated, underappreciated. Damon Wayans for sure. Hillary from The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Sorry, I can't recall your exact name at this moment, but you know who I'm talking about. That's a good pick. That is a good pick.
What you going with?
Comedy wise, man. The first movie that came to mind definitely was Coming to America, the first one. But
that's a good one too.
I gotta put Major Pain in my top 5, dude. I gotta put Major Pain in my top 5 for sure. Drama movie.
Drama. Yo, it's a sleeper too. Coach Carter.
Coach Carter. Yes, indeed. Man, all right. You got some cinematic prowess, man. I think you would survive as a film critic as well too. Another classic movie as well too. You heard it here first. R.Kim sharing his favorite movies here on the Parallax Effect Podcast. Let us know what you think. What do you think about our picks? What do you think about his picks? Leave them in the comment section. We can have a conversation because it's all about perspective. So to kind of close things up, I do something on here. I basically call it the 3 points. And do you watch soccer?
Nah.
Okay, that's all right, because I'm about to break it down for you right now. So in most of the major leagues, pretty much around the world, soccer is basically win, lose, or draw, right? And they have a point system. So when you win, you get 3 points. When you lose, obviously, you get 0 points. And when you tie, you get 1 point. So they pretty much add up all the points at the end of the season. There's your champion right there. So, I mean, soccer here in the States, MLS, they have the playoffs and stuff like that, but most leagues don't have that. You just add up the points. So when you win, you get 3 points. So I feel like our show here today, we won, so we getting 3 points.
Okay.
But what I want to do is leave the 3 points to you. Like, what do you want the listener, what do you want the audience to take away from this episode?
Definitely, like, my inspiration and my sound is, inspired by Bryson Tiller, Tory Lanez. So if you like any of that type of music, trap soul, even if you like Little Uzi type music, Playboy Cardi, like, I can make music in that genre. I have some songs coming out. Really, if you just like music in general, just listen to my music. I guarantee you're going to like, I have so many different songs, so many different types. Another thing to take away is, like, always, no matter what you're going through in life, always walk by faith. That's the reason for my second EP, because I know it's, like, hard times for a lot of people, you know what I mean? And it's hard to, like, walk by faith. That's one of the hardest things to do. One of my favorite movies, too, is Book of Eli. Because that whole movie, he's walking by faith. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, so whatever you're going through, just stay positive. I still go through things even till, right, you know what I'm saying? Like today, like I still go through things, everyday life. So stay focused and have a purpose behind why you're doing what you're doing. And whatever your belief system is, in my case, keep God first. You know what I'm saying? And have trust. So that's really it, man.
And the third point I will give, I will augment on the first point, is look up R.Kim. Take the time out of your day. Open up those Apple Music, open up that Spotify, open up YouTube, open up Instagram, open up TikTok. Very R.Kim is who you need to look for. Experience both memorable, both very important albums that have definitely can tell a life story, or definitely can influence or tell the audience who you are as a person, right, and what you're truly about, right, as well too. And from me to you, man. Just thank you so much for picking up the call. Thank you for organizing and setting the time aside, because I know your time is very valuable. So, I wanted to make sure that we came in, laced it down, man. And it's very good to know that there's new talent out there pushing the limits, and you're going to be someone's dream collaboration.
I hope so.
Very soon, man. Very soon.
So.
We putting the energy out there. here on the Parallax Effect Podcast. Like I said, here with R.Kim. Before we get ready to close up, I know I gave you the 3 points, but I want to give you just another platform just to remind folks what's coming up next down the pipeline for you and where they can reach you.
All my socials at Very R.Kim is where you can reach me. What's coming down the pipeline? It's more music, more collabs. Hopefully with some of y'all favorite artists. You know what I'm saying? Just pushing the, and staying focused. New videos. I take my videos very seriously when it comes to content and visuals. So YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, all the platforms where you can post videos is pretty much going to be up there. So more visuals, more collabs, more music, better pizza, Papa John's.
Papa John's.
You know,
out of the chains, I'm probably a Domino's type of guy. I'm not too 100%. Sure. Yeah,
I had that like 2 nights ago.
Yeah, you did. Yeah,
what?
Yeah. They do it.
You had the handmade pan.
No, So you're gonna probably laugh at me a little bit, but sometimes we gotta get gluten-free buns. Sometimes we gotta get, and then we mess around with some local places that got cauliflower bun, like Blaze Pizza or whatever. Yeah. So we kind of mix and match it up. But if you recommend a handmade pan,
nah, don't kill yourself because of my advice.
Yeah, but you only live once though. You know what I mean? So I just might roll it if you recommend it. That is for sure. Yes, definitely. Again, so very R.Kim. You can find him on YouTube. You can find him on Instagram. You can find him on TikTok, on Twitter, on Facebook. He has made it very easy. Very R.Kim is where you need to be. You can find us on Instagram. That's Parallax Effect Media. On Facebook at the Parallax Effect Podcast. On Twitter at Parallax Effects. Once again, that's Parallax Effects with an S. And on TikTok, search RyloKin27. On behalf of R.Kim, I am Ryan Lavelle. This is the Parallax Effect Podcast, where every angle reveals a new depth of understanding. That is a wrap for season 1 of the Parallax Effect Podcast. I want to personally thank each and every one of you for taking the time to spend with us. Every week for the last 20 weeks, we've done 20 episodes here. And I also want to thank each of the guests who answered the call to come and chat with us, come and share their perspective, share their story. I gained a lot of knowledge, gained a lot of insight. I had a lot of fun getting to know some remarkable individuals. And we look forward to continuing that. So we will see you on season 2 of the Parallax Effect Podcast. You've been watching the Parallax Effect Podcast, where every angle reveals a new depth of understanding.